Time for Law and Disorder.
I demand a lawyer.
With attorney Jeff Kaufman on 101.1 WJRR.
All right, Jeff Kaufman, partner at Kaufman and Lind. If you or someone you know has been injured, car accident, slip and fall, whatever. You find yourself in a pickle, you might want to call Jeff.
He's really easy to get in touch with. Jeff at whenyouneedus.com is his direct email. Jeff at whenyouneedus.com or pound 546 on your cell.
He answers some of your questions here for you, as he does every Monday. What's happening, Kaufman?
A lot of good stuff. Had an interesting weekend. Did a little bit of stand-up. Saw some. I actually saw Bob Dylan last night.
Did you go to the Dylan deal?
I went to the Dylan concert.
How was that?
How was it?
I got to be straight with you.
Just lay it out there.
6 songs in, I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it. And the worst thing is, I brought my office manager and her brother, huge fans. So I said, all right, I'll get tickets, because we sponsored the Dr. Phillips Center. I said, all right, I'll go. And I was sitting there, and I want you to know, everyone seemed to really love it, and it was packed. But he hurt my brain. I had to leave. 6 songs in, I couldn't take it.
Did you left
I didn't recognize a single song, and I know a lot of his songs. They were just like, yeah.
Did you leave your business partner?
Oh,
there?
yeah.
You left your guest.
She liked it. I mean, I gave them good seats. I shouldn't have to suffer along with it. I paid for the seats.
And you know what? I don't know how it was because I wasn't there, but any performer can do it. Because, Pat, you remember, you know exactly what I'm going to probably mention to him. Dave Matthews Band will put on such a great performance. My wife has watched him since he was in college in her town in Richmond, Virginia, where she went. Dude, I'm going to tell you, I sat there and I fell asleep at a Dave Matthews concert in the stands like this.
I would have loved to have been able to sleep. The problem,
oh God,
my brain hurt for about an hour and a half afterwards. I go, let me just sit here. And he did this thing. He goes, he locks all your cell phones away. Like, we're going to upload his music or something. But I think the key to this one was he took your cell phone so that we could be staring down at it the whole time he was singing.
Hey, Bob.
I could have bought probably about 5 more songs if I could have been looking at my phone. But he was so, and I want you to know, there were a lot of elderly people there. Seemed to be having a really good time. People bopping, I guess it's old white people remembering their stoner days. That is the best way to do, because everyone's like, oh, this is the best. I'm going, it was horrific. But,
Jeff pulled a midnight rider.
He left early.
Oh, I bolted. I bolted. I was like,
okay, we got a bunch of questions.
Sorry about
Bob
that.
Dylan, if you happen to be, taking off and on your way to the airport,
stop it.
On the way to the airport, we're sorry. Just you put our lawyer to sleep, our lawyer buddy Jeff.
Yeah, put a lot of people to bed. The guy next to me was like, I had to clean up some drool.
Okay, legal question. What's the current concealed weapons law on legal registered firearms? That'd be a long answer.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Yeah,
dude, we don't have 3 hours.
You might want to Google that.
The fact is this, they have the new rule that, I have a carry permit. I guess you might not need one anymore. But hey, listen to this. As a military guy, just do this. Keep your stuff safe. Lock it up. Do what you need to do. Don't walk around. This is not like you walk into Publix feeling you need to be security there. Be smart with your weapons. Go online. The Florida bar has that. The Florida bar has a whole thing on it. I don't want to give you the wrong information. You get arrested and come after me.
I tell you what I live by these days in this state is just assume everyone's armed.
I mean, the answer to this one.
Serious.
Tell me every gun law in the state of Florida.
Assume everyone's armed.
That's it.
I'm serious, man.
All right. Are non-competes valid in Florida?
Absolutely. Non-competes are absolutely, and here's the way they work. They're based on time and geographic location. They can't say, okay, this agreement is valid for the whole country. It has to be reasonable to the job you're doing. For example, if you work at 7-Eleven, they can't keep you from working at a convenience store for 50 miles. But yes, it's going to be time and duration. 6 months is normally not a big deal. A year might be a big deal. But once you go 5 years, 10 years, you got a problem. So just see an employment attorney if this is a problem.
Yeah, we ran into that non-compete. My wife had a slip and fall outside of a large, I won't read who it is, outside of a large retailer. It was directly outside the doors. and they said that they're not liable. But the company that maintains their sidewalks and parking lot are. Is this true? Or are they just trying to get out?
Okay, I don't know if you have an attorney, because if you are actually going to Target and trying to fight this case yourself,
the store that I wasn't
you might as well
naming.
be doing your own root canals, because this happens. I talked to them and they told me don't talk to them. This is why lawyers are out there.
I'm going to text them your direct contact.
Yeah, don't listen to this. Don't listen to them saying they're not responsible. Of course, they're not going to say they're not responsible. They say that all the time. We send them a letter. They say they're not responsible, and then we file a lawsuit. Then they go, okay, here's a check.
Jeff at whenyouneedus.com. Again, Jeff at whenyouneedus.com. There's people. Okay, that one is just too long. Okay, that's...
What is your call to discuss media? What is my fee to discuss mediations? Well, it depends on what mediation that is. If it's a personal injury case, you have a personal injury attorney. We don't charge for that. We take a percentage like every other attorney. So when you see these commercials, we don't get paid unless you get paid. Well, that's normal for our field.
Okay. Can you ask Jeff why my company work is telling me to claim 0 instead of 1 on my W-4 to get my child tax credit? I got $8 back this year instead of a couple grand. A lot of people at my work had same problem. Sounds fishy to me. I think you claim what you want, don't you?
I think you put your dependents the way you put your dependents. I don't.
Yeah, your work doesn't dictate that.
I don't think they dictate it. Now, they might give you advice on what they think is going on. I said, I'm not a tax expert, so I'm not going to even try to get into that with you. But, you put your dependents the way you're supposed to put your dependents on it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be screwing around because it might affect your taxes later. Call your guy. It's $35 at H&R Block or somebody like that, and they'll tell you exactly how to do it.
That person texted last week, and I told him basically the same. I said, you claim what you choose.
But like I said, go to a tax expert. For $35, go to H&R Block and ask them.
Okay. 22526 is where these come in. I print them out if we don't have enough, which I know we won't because we are on a Bob Dylan rampage for a while. My old apartments are trying to steal my security deposit and charge me more.
Yeah.
I left the apartment the same as it was when I moved in. What should I do? Who would they contact for that?
Okay, what happens is when you leave, they have a certain amount of days that they have to provide you to be able to say what's wrong with the apartment and how much of your security deposit they can go after. Like, they'll give you a list. Carpet's old, everything else. Now, normal wear and tear, they can't go after. But, all the holes in the wall and stuff like that, they can, or you left the apartment filthy and all that other things. But no, they have a certain amount of days that they have to give you notice, and they can try to go after you for more than your security deposit if you've damaged the property.
Okay, Kaufman, if I hired a licensed and insured company to replace my screen enclosure and an employee gets hurt, like, a screen over your pool, if the employee gets hurt, can they sue me as the homeowner?
It depends on what's going on. First off, they normally have to go through workers' comp first because they're working for another company. They're on the job at the time. Now, are they independent contractors? I don't know. The fact is that let's say you have a hidden hole in the middle of your property and the guy walks into the hole, or something that's just dangerous, or you dumped a bunch of Wesson oil across your floor. But normally, for something that you didn't have a duty to protect somebody from, and in this situation, if the guy's just fixing something and falls down, that's on him.
Mm-hmm.
So, especially if he's been paid by the company.
Who are licensed and insured.
I'm not worried about licensed and insured means that you can sue them, not the other way around.
Can my job legally write me up for missing a day of work for, wait for it, jury duty?
Okay. What they write you up for, they can write you up for anything. They could say, listen, we don't like your purple shirt. The question is are they taxing your income or anything else because of jury duty? Jury duty is a very protected thing that you're not supposed to be able to be fired from it. You're supposed to be able to take off for jury duty, things like that. And the question is the write-up and how it affects you later. I don't know. I mean, this is a company who does very weird things. Very rarely will they write you up because you were forced to go to jury duty. And only a douche would do something like that.
My sister has lived with my mom for the past 2 years, and they are not getting along. My mom is threatening to kick my sister out. What kind of process does my mom have to go through to have my sister removed from the home? What is the approximate time frame?
Well, in a situation like this, you have one issue. Is she paying rent? That's something I don't know. If she's paying rent or technically has a lease or they're sharing or they're on the same thing, then it's a lot more difficult. But it would be like a regular eviction in any other way. So they can contact an eviction attorney and see how long it would take. I think there's another form you can do. There's a special kind of form you can write up. I'm not an expert on that. But contact an eviction attorney. Normally stuff like that takes within a month or two at most.
Got it.
All right. If we didn't get you your question, you need some answers right away. There's a couple ways to reach Jeff at Kaufman and Lynn. Taco Bob.
Jeff at whenyouneedus.com. That's Jeff at whenyouneedus.com or pound 546 on your cell.
And we have our event this week, all for the money. Go to whenyouneedus.com/events, or if you want to go to Ghostbusters next week, whenyouneedus/events.
All right. Jeff Kaufman, appreciate it, man. And we'll talk to you again soon.